The Frustrated Rockstars, and we're back for another great episode of Talk and Roll. I'm Justin, here's Jeff.
And we are live on MP4 at the On the Rocks Tavern in Sandy Springs, Georgia, with another episode of Talk and Roll.
Talk and Roll, for God's sakes.
Yes, we talk about music, because we just love it so much. There's nothing better.
No, there is nothing better than music.
Sex?
You have to. If you had to choose between sex and music, what would you choose? I would take music.
I think I would
I don't
too.
even have to think about it.
I would too.
I mean, I don't have to think about it.
So what are we talking
about? A lot
about?
goes on under the table here, though, so I'm good. I'm really good. Today we're going to talk about crossovers, Jeff.
Like people that do movies and music, they can do both successfully or have tried.
Yeah.
A lot of times it doesn't work.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say.
I think as a general rule, it's easier for a musician, an established musician, to go into acting versus an actor going into music.
Well, I remember when Jerry Seinfeld was interviewed about acting. He said, you know, the hardest thing I do is get up on stage and tell jokes. The acting's easy.
Well, yeah, and there's more involved with, you know, being a musician. And there's more skill involved.
There are a lot of crossovers, though.
That were successful actors and then did were actors and then did music.
We've got a lot of actors that have done music but not really had any commercial success.
No, I mean, can you think of any? I couldn't think of any.
Which surprises me, because you would think
They're
Russell Crowe,
right.
He could afford marketing and everything else.
Right.
You would think that somehow it would sell 1 million copies.
Right.
One that comes to my mind is Bruce Willis when he did the Return to
That was
Bruno
a
album.
joke.
It was embarrassing.
It was a joke.
It was embarrassing.
Yeah.
It was as good as like a Red Lobster commercial or something. It was terrible. Respect your... And it was a cover song. His single was a cover song.
Yeah. No,
And he played harmonica.
That's it. I don't know any.
30 Odd Grunt, that's Russell Crowe's band. Was it Dog Star? Is
Keanu Reeves. Well, you know, Eddie Murphy has had some success, but people laugh at him. You know, remember when he did...
Well, Party All the Time was a top 10 hit.
It was a big hit, but still people now look back and make fun of that song, which I think is a mistake.
I love that song.
I love it too. And if it wasn't, if it were, you know, because it was written and produced by Rick James. If that were just a straight up Rick James song, it would be one of the greatest songs ever.
It'd be on every compilation.
But because Eddie Murphy did it, it's always on those top 10 worst song lists. That song's always on there.
He did a song with Michael Jackson that I used to absolutely love. I had like a single for What's Up With You. And Michael Jackson performed it with them and wrote it with them. I mean, back when that meant something. Back when you couldn't get Michael, you know, that was a big deal.
Well, I think
a great song.
I think Eddie Murphy, he can do it. It's just he's just so well known as a comedic actor. You just don't get the same respect as a musician if you're that. It ain't really any actor. That's why I think musicians can do movies easier, because you're more respected as a musician, like an established musician, than you are an established actor.
Well, usually too, when the musicians go and act, they're either playing themselves or they're playing a musician.
Right.
I mean, they usually don't come over and play like, you know, My Left Foot. You know.
Right.
I mean, they usually, you know, have roles that are kind of.
Well, Cher started out as a singer, and she's won an Oscar.
Right. Well, you know, but she also had a variety show for a lot of years, so she was used to being in front of cameras and kind of.
Right.
So she had a little bit of chops. You know, she you know.
Right. She was kind of the triple threat.
Olivia Newton-John.
Oh, good one. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, it just came on, and I was thinking.
God, my wife loves Olivia Newton-John.
Olivia Newton-John.
Yeah, she was a singer, and
but again, she was in a musical.
Yeah,
I mean, they didn't ask her to play, you know, Hamlet.
Yeah.
You know, she's in a musical, but very successful.
Very successful, and then, but she hasn't really done that many other movies.
No, but she was here and there acting. She had roles.
Yeah.
She's been mellow.
Yeah. Good one. Recently, a lot of rappers have gotten into acting. Ludacris is becoming
LL Cool J.
A respected actor.
LL Cool J had his own sitcom.
In the House. Oh, Will Smith. Good one.
Will Smith.
I mean,
he was a rapper.
He's one of the biggest
movie
movie
stars. One of the biggest stars in the world.
Yeah.
I think it's easier to make that transition than the other transition.
I mean, I don't know any of them. Don Johnson tried it, had a hit in '85, which I think is a great song.
It's a great song.
But it's just, you know, he was not respected as a singer. I think so. As a general, actors are not respected.
Yeah, Hasselhoff. I mean, not in our country.
Germans love David Hasselhoff.
But that one song, Freedom, whatever, I mean, it sold millions of copies in Europe.
Yeah.
Millions. He's huge in Europe.
Yeah.
I don't get.
I don't know. Well, another guy that has done a little bit of both, had a variety show, is Glen Campbell.
Like a rhinestone cowboy.
He is in this week's In the Noise. So Glen Campbell's coming out with an album of covers, and he's covering,
Right.
you know, like modern songs. U2, Foo Fighters, Green Day, your favorite band, one of your favorite bands.
Billy Joe.
What do you think? It should be a quick one. Sign it or drop it. Good idea, bad idea.
All right, here's the thing. This is a new trend right now. You know, you've got Johnny Cash did it with Rick Rubin.
Yeah.
Loretta Lynn did it with the guy from the White Stripes. Where you take an established older artist, and in order to get him, you know, appealing to a younger demographic, you have him do kind of cool songs.
Yeah.
I say sign it. It's kind of cool. The Johnny Cash record was cool to
Yeah.
hear him sing these other songs. And I've seen the song list for this Glen Campbell album, and there's some cool songs that I'd like to hear his take on.
Yeah, well, here's the thing about it. I was going to say, drop it. I'm over this stuff. I'm not going to buy it. I'm over it. But when I was reading about it, I forgot the guy's name who was producing it. But
Yeah.
he's like
a huge fan.
He's a huge fan, and he's going for like a 60s sound. Like he's actually going for, you know, kind of a 60s pop sound. This should be right up your alley.
Yeah, I'm excited
And
about
that's the take that he's going to have on these U2 Foo Fighters songs. I thought that made it interesting because anything that is produced a little more retro and none of this Pro Tools and all this overproduction, I'm all for. So I'm going to say sign.
I say who's a hurt because if you're a huge Glen Campbell fan, hey, it's another album of Glen Campbell
and
music.
he's like 71.
So who's a hurt?
Yeah.
If you don't want to buy it, don't buy it. It's not like Glen Campbell's going to take over Lil Wayne's spot
Right.
on the pop charts.
I don't think it'll be as big as the Johnny Cash thing
I don't either.
was. But, you know.
You know what? I think it'll be better though. And I'm a huge Johnny Cash fan, but I really thought he was really on his last legs when he was
Oh,
recording. He was barely talking. He was just
Yeah.
really talking. He wasn't singing.
Yeah.
So I actually want to hear it. So if I want to hear it, I say sign it.
Cool. All right, you got any comments about this or anything else? Make sure to leave them on YouTube or email us info@thefrustratedrockstars.com or
Send a message in a bottle.
yes, and you may see yourself on.
Commentary.
All right, so this week we have
How do you say that? Red Isle? I think it's Red Isle
57. This is responding
Delicious
to
on a hamburger. A little Red Isle 57.
the Rock and Roll Rites of Passage. This was a fun one to do. Kind
Yeah.
of talking about albums you listen to when you discover music. Okay, speaking for myself here, age 18.
Age 18.
Like the younger demo, I found out about a lot of classic bands from VH1 Classic. You know, we didn't mention that. I didn't even think of that. VH1 Classic does play all videos,
Right.
And some good. They play deep cuts. They play some good stuff.
It's hard to believe an 18-year-old kid is watching VH1 Classic.
Right. Listen, and he lists his faves: Guns N' Roses, Appetite for Destruction, or her. Europe, The Final Countdown, interesting choice. Cream,
I thought
Fresh
that was
Cream.
interesting, yeah.
Van Halen, the first album, good. Queen, Innuendo. Queen, yeah. I guess I'm about to take my advanced courses in Music 101.
So she comes to us to learn about music.
But this is a great start. This is a great
Right.
base.
She's got a really good base there.
So like you mentioned, you know, some of these the classic albums haven't changed. Like we were
Right.
wondering, you know, is it Pearl Jam 10 now? Is it Nirvana? Nevermind.
I mean, there's always ones being added to the list.
Right.
But Led Zeppelin, Zeppelin 2 and Zeppelin 4, albums like that.
Back in Black and Appetite for
Marley.
Destruction. The first Van Halen album. So some of those are still happening. People are discovering music and still learning that way. And I'm
love
glad.
it.
That's great.
That's awesome.
That's great. So thank you so much for the feedback.
Red Isle 57.
57. And send us your comments or topics, info@thefrustratedrockstars.com.
Naked pictures.
Thank you so much for joining us, and be sure to enjoy your
Enjoy your music.
music. That's what it's all about. We'll catch you next time.